You're about to receive the message you've always been wanting from your specific person. And honestly, what we're going to talk about in this video is going to be the one change that is going to make your manifestation instant. And the two aspects that we need to talk about in regards to this is one, the feeling or sense of worthiness. And two, it is going to be that sense of frequency, or the frequency at which we enter into this state that I talked about yesterday or in yesterday's video. But I'm going to talk more about today because it is one of the most powerful things that you can do in your manifestation. So I'm going to start with the sense of feeling worthy. So the question when it comes to manifestation is the thought that we have to become worthy, or we have to have a high self-concept in order to manifest what we desire. But truly, what's more important than self-concept is something I talk about a lot in this channel called self-efficacy. That is your confidence in your ability to do something. So basically, the assumption that you can have what you want, you can be with your specific person, they're going to pursue you, they're going to chase you, that's much more important than the feeling of your self-concept or your worthiness. Because the trick, it's almost like a paradox, is that whenever we're focusing on or trying to build our self-concept, it doesn't matter because you already were born worthy. You could never not be worthy of exactly what you want. That's literally impossible. You were born in this reality. You were basically an immortal being in a physical body, and you were born to have and receive everything that you could ever want. Think of your connection or the power that is running through your body right now, right? That is through your God state or your higher self, or however you want to put it. And that individual, if you think of God, would God ever not be worthy of something? And you would say, well, no. So, but in essence, in this reality, we can feel or be under the illusion that we're not worthy, but you could never not be worthy. But sometimes we use that specific concept in order to kind of evade our manifestation and stay in the same state, which I know sounds very odd that we would ever try to evade our manifestation. But sometimes when we feel very comfortable in where we're at, that's what we end up doing. Because some people approach a manifestation and think or worry, what am I doing wrong? I don't feel worthy. Am I worthy enough to receive what I want? I'm already worthy. How come I'm not receiving what I desire in my reality? How come my specific person isn't reaching out to me? But your worthiness is never a question and something you could ever increase. You already are worthy of exactly what you want. But instead, we need to remember our sense of being is what is actually creating what we see in our reality, or that's going to create what we want. So it's not our worthiness, because again, you were born worthy. It's our sense of being in the way in which we act in our reality, because you are worthy, but you still manifest what you are and not what you want. You can be in a sense or feeling of worthiness, but still be just wanting your specific person, or as Neville Goddard would say, thinking of the end versus thinking from the end. So we just have to make that switch. And again, remember, if you feel stuck in your manifestation, a way to make it instant is to remember, worthiness has nothing to do with it. Obviously, it's going to fulfill our confidence in our ability. But if we think back to that idea of self-efficacy, again, because confidence is important, but when you think of self-efficacy, how would you explain, if self-concept is the most powerful thing, why some people feel really down or depressed or sad about themselves, but are still in a relationship? How come there's billionaires that are sad, right? If self-efficacy, or if self-concept was everything, then that would make absolutely no sense. And we could probably all think of one or a few different people that kind of fit this persona, that are in a relationship, but don't feel great about themselves. But that's again, because you could never not be worthy of what you want, but you're still manifesting what you are and not what you want. And so in order to change this and get into this self-efficacy, so having a really high self-efficacy to manifest again instantly, the secret is going to be that sense of frequency. So the amount of times that we actually enter into the state. And I'm actually going to give you a Neville Goddard quote that explains this. He wrote, "If you would assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled more frequently, you would be master of your fate. But unfortunately, you shut out your assumption for all but the occasional hour. Practice making real to yourself the feeling of the wish fulfilled." Basically hitting us really close to home, basically calling us out saying that we want something in our reality, but we only actually feel as if we already have it, like at random times during the day or the occasional hour, as he would say it. And I would actually look at your day-to-day life, or think of the past week or the past month, because this is actually what happens in manifestation, like coaching calls and things like that. I say to look back at the past whatever amount of time and ask yourself, how many times did I really feel as if I already had what I want? And the crazy thing is, it's usually a lot less than we think it is, because we end up in these momentums of thinking and wanting something, so thinking of the end, and we think of that as being in the sense of the wish fulfilled, but it's a little different. So thinking of the end is just thinking about what you want. Again, that's in the sense of thinking we manifest what we want, but instead thinking from the end is acting and feeling as if you already have it. So that's the aspect of manifesting what you are. Again, I'll say it again. I know I've said it like 3 times already, but you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. And sometimes we get stuck in this mindset, again, if we feel really worthy, but we're not seeing the results we want. So take a moment and think about what you have been thinking about. So think about thinking and ask yourself, how often do you think of your specific person as not wanting to be with you? How often do you worry that they don't want to text you? How often do you think that you're not good enough for them, or they don't want to hang out with you, they don't want to marry you, right? How often is that? And then how often do you think of the opposite, which is in the positive? How often do you think of them loving you? How often do you think about them caring about you? How often do you think about them wanting to message you right now, to blow up your phone, to send the I love you text or an I miss you text, right? How often are we thinking upon that? And then we're going to realize that we are accidentally living Neville Goddard's quote. Again, it's hitting us real close to home, and that we're only actively seeking or embodying the state and the occasional hour, which means that we're not fully in the frequency of what we want, and we're accidentally in the frequency of what we don't want. So what you should do for the next 24 hours is begin thinking about this, acting this out, actually being the individual that's already in that end state. And it just comes from inner speech, right? Your actions or your state of being is going to come automatically if you can align your inner speech with that outcome. Because just to reiterate from a previous video, Neville Goddard talks about the 2 things that we need in manifestation are going to be your inner speech and then your actions. Okay, so basically the way in which you think or imagine your end state, and then your state of being in your reality, because that's what a lot of people misinterpret or don't actively use, is that sense of being. And that's what's going to make your manifestation absolutely instant. And I actually wanted to give you a success story from one of my previous coaching sessions that happened really recently, in which they started to see a massive difference in their reality as they begin to act in a state of frequency. And honestly, if you go back to any of my successes, they all connect back to a state of frequency as well. But here's what they texted me the other day. They were, "Hi Kyle, I hope all is well. Just wanted to send you an update. My specific person and I have been in contact more and even hung out at a friend's family party together." So they went from not being in this relationship to actively seeking out and creating all of this just from a sense of frequency. And when I say that frequency can absolutely change your reality, it is going to absolutely change your reality. So if you're in no contact, if you're long distance with your specific person, if you feel as if there's bad, negative things that have occurred in the past, because not to go into too much detail of this individual, but they do have a strong past with their specific person, but they were able to change all that. And they've been doing absolutely fantastic. Like I should even, I know it only talks about in the coaching session, so I can't put a screenshot of all this, but they have been manifesting absolutely ridiculous stuff, been doing absolutely fantastic. And you can do the same if we just focus on this aspect of frequency. But then also remember, the way in which manifesting instantly is going to occur is connecting back to this idea of the worthiness. Some people do come to me in the first ever coaching session that we have together, and they go, "What's going on? I feel worthy, but I'm not receiving what I want. How come it's not changing?" But that's the whole aspect. You were born worthy. You may think or be under the illusion, you might be watching this thinking that, "Oh no, my specific person won't want me." That's not true. Like no matter how much you think about it, no matter how much you debate me, that's not your reality. You are meant and worthy of everything you could want. And again, remember, anything you say about yourself, you're basically saying about God. If you say you're unworthy, you're saying God's unworthy. If you think you can't do it, then you're saying God can't do it. And that's not the case at all, because that is you. That's the power flowing through you. If you look around your reality, it's all up to your creation, whether or not you realize it. So let's create the exact reality that you want. So what I want you to do for the next 24 hours, act this out, focus on your thoughts, and then I want you to comment the affirmation, "I am the master of my reality," or "I am the master of my fate," kind of alluding to the Neville Goddard quote in which he wrote, "You would be master of your fate, but unfortunately you shut out your assumption for all but the occasional hour." That's not going to be us anymore. That is not what we're doing. We're creating and being the individual that already has what we want. We are creating that as our reality. We are going to do this right here and right now. Again, this is a way to make your manifestation effortless. So I am the master of my reality. I am the master of my fate. My specific person is obsessed with me. Maybe write all 3 of those as an affirmation, because you guys have been killing it with the affirmations, and that is going to change everything. Along with commenting your affirmation, make sure to give a thumbs up on this video if you are absolutely certain that this is going to change your reality as well. Make sure to comment any questions at all that you have. If you did want to send me a personal message or a personal question or personal success, because I love hearing updates about everyone's manifestation, head over to kyleaugustcoaching.com. That's where you can reach me personally. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm so excited, or I'm excited to hear in my next video all of your results. So make sure to hop back, watch my next video tomorrow, and then come back and let me know all of your updates, because I think you are going to see a total difference in everything in your reality just from this simple idea. Again, thank you so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you in my next video tomorrow.